Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Onyx, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seat belt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's happening, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to Weird Wednesday.
I think it says we expired.
Like milk?
On Facebook, and I'm getting weird loops.
Huh. Are you guys watching us on Facebook? I see some people are on Facebook. I know it was down to the wire.
Are you hearing the feedback?
Nope. It seems like I can hear it like in your headphones, like real faintly. But no, I don't really hear it.
Okay, I hear it bad, and I was hearing the music.
Florida's doing pretty good over here. Now I hear it. Getting that feedback going. Yeah, I am.
Okay, Rob, this isn't going to work for me.
Okay. You're in the infinite loop.
Okay, Rob, this isn't going to work for me.
Loop.
Okay, if I mute the computer, then I can't hear you.
Chicken check.
And this didn't happen on Jason's show. If I mute the computer,
weird.
And this didn't happen on Jason's show.
Yeah, I'm getting a major echo from you. Audio. Check your audio settings and see if that'll do it. Weird.
Well,
a Willie cigar, huh? Is that the brand Willie?
I mean, it's work. Everything's fine. And you're repeating, so.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any of that on my end unless you move your headphones or something.
And I have this set up the same as I did when I went on Jason's. It worked fine Sunday.
Weirdness ensues on Weird Wednesday. Margie says here's a fine on Facebook. So we kicked her out. She'll be back, hopefully. So tonight's cigar's a Willie cigar, huh? Yep, retrograde. To Zuriana's question, how's Florida? Florida's doing pretty good. Rained like hell yesterday. Like rained hard yesterday evening. And then it just stopped. Like somebody pulled the switch and it just stopped, but it was flooded everywhere. And I got soaking wet carrying my guitar and my amp out to my car when I left little band gig. But today was it was hotter than Satan's anus for a while. And did some stuff at the house here and then went out and played 12 rounds of disc golf right before sundown. Got my exercise in through the furthest I've thrown today. So that was good, which still isn't very far, but farther than it was yesterday. So yeah, I don't know what's up with Jamie's sound. It was giving her a hard time. Zach said it's made by a Cuban cigar roller out in Chandler. Nice. Yeah, it's always good when you find, somebody that hand rolls, and you know what they're doing and they're not like super expensive and they're good. That's always a plus. What's up, D? How's it going? Hey, I heard your comment. You said I didn't want to be your friend. I sent you a friend request. I don't know how I passed you up, but what's up, Debbie? You weirdo. We're all weirdos when it comes down to it. Well, he says Rhode Island appears to be teed up to vote to legalize recreational marijuana on Tuesday. Cool. Yeah, it should just be recreational everywhere. But Florida's weird. Florida's cool in a lot of ways, but they still have some hang-ups. So anything weird happening in y'all's neck of the woods? Yeah. Me too, Debbie. Me too. Well, I got this while we're waiting for Jamie to come back. I'll start some news articles that I have. There she is, maybe. What's up?
Okay, so it wasn't echoing when we were in sound check.
Yep.
It's once the music started, I was hearing an echo start with the music. And then when I would talk, it was echoing. So I don't know if something happened with one of the mixers when it came, or one of the way the sound goes, because it's set up exactly as it was Sunday, and I haven't made any changes.
Weird.
So now I'm on my phone, and my whole setup is messed up.
I don't know. We'll have to do a sound test, a live sound test tomorrow or something. Figure it out.
Definitely.
I don't know.
But I can still use this for some sort of chat. And I think we are on Facebook now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
My phone was saying it ended.
Yeah, it was right down to the wire.
Of course, I don't have a fucking mouse.
Well, this first one is a photo of robot lost in the woods. Goes viral. Stupid robots. They're going to take our jobs. An innocuous snap of a delivery robot wandering through some woodland has been getting a lot of attention on Twitter. Is Elon going to buy it or not? How many bots are on Twitter? Anyway, that's another story for another time. There'll come a day when human postal workers will be replaced by automated robots. See, they're going to take our jobs. Capable of negotiating through busy streets, navigating confusing paths, and bringing letters and parcels directly to your door with minimal fuss and bother. Such feature may be quite a long way off. However, as evidenced by a recent photograph taken by Matthew McCormick, who had been cycling through the woodland in Northampton over the weekend, when he came across what appeared to be a delivery robot that had become completely and utterly lost. Or was it? The pint-sized contraption, which typically delivers groceries, seemed to be miles from wherever it was supposed to be and was ambling on, minding its own business along a woodland trail. It's like, how long can these things roll? McCormick snapped a quick photo and posted it up on Twitter. He was amazed to find the next morning that it had gone viral with more than 240,000 likes, 20,000 retweets, and 2,000 replies. People really seem to be connecting with it, he said. Many social users saw the funny side, with one suggesting the robot had gained sentience and was on a mental health walk. According to Starship Technologies, which operates these robots, they said this one wasn't lost, but was instead on his way to make a delivery to his next customer. So maybe he was going to grandma's house in the woods. I don't know. Taking a off the beaten path shortcut to the next customer, maybe. I don't know. Would be weird to see a robot out in the woods, though, along a bike path or a nature trail. But apparently, that's what we're going to be dealing with. Freaking robots.
Freaking robots.
Exactly. Mary's like, damn, now I know what happened to my grocery delivery. Exactly. Feeding the squirrels out in the woods.
Trying to think which phone. I had it all sent, all my articles on the other phone. Okay. This first one, as you know, Congress had that meeting. So there's like a bunch of blah, blah, blah is what I heard from it. And this is going to talk about, if you didn't get a chance to hear about it at all, the video, they're just like explaining this as their evidence. You don't have to play the sound with it. And and there's also just like a still picture, and this is what they're using as their evidence during it. At House hearing, videos of unexplained aerial sightings and a push for answers. Pentagon officials testifying at a House subcommittee hearing on Tuesday showed a previously classified video of a UFO, a fleeting color image of a reflective spherical object speeding past a military fighter jet. The congressional hearing was the first in more than half a century to focus on military reports of unexplained phenomena. The current term for UFOs and I thought it was UAPs. And a chance for lawmakers to prod the Pentagon for more information. It was also an opportunity for government officials to clarify why explanations were not forthcoming and outline their plans for improving data collection. The Pentagon officials testified under oath that the government had not collected materials from any alien landing on Earth, pushing back on at least one favored conspiracy theory. The highlight of the hearing was a split-second image shot last year through the window of an FA-18 fighter jet on a spherical object in the distance. The pilot also reported observing an object. It remains unexplained and is an example of how difficult it is to determine what a short video clip may show. Pentagon officials also played a video and displayed an image shot through night vision lenses that showed glowing green triangles moving through the air. The first video shot on the West Coast in 2019 puzzled military officials, but the small triangles in the second recording made this year on the East Coast were determined to be drones. The spooky look being an artifact of the lens used to produce the imagery. So they're trying to say these are drones. This last time other U.S. Huh?
Sure they are.
Right. This time other U.S. Navy assets also observed unmanned aerial systems nearby, and now we're reasonably confident that these triangles correlate to unnamed aerial systems in the air. So the classified videos were released, and urging lawmakers as they pledged to bring transparency to an investigation of unexplained reports by military pilots and others that have long been shrouded in stigma, confusion, and secrecy. The hearing was followed by a classified session where the Pentagon officials could candidly discuss the capabilities and limitations of the cameras and other sensors to record images. And you know, what's interesting about all this is there was just something the other day where they were flat saying, yes, there's stuff we know did not come from Earth. And yes, we know there's stuff that, you know, could not possibly have, you know, come from this area, blah, blah, blah. And then they're turning it around and again, retracting those statements.
Yeah.
So nothing came out of that like we expected.
Yeah. I basically still hold my opinion that they're full of shit.
I second that opinion.
Operating in a U.S. Navy training range that has observed spherical object. Here's what you'll see coming up right here. There it went. Now back up just a spherical object right here. It zooms by the window right in this area right there. And as they fly by it, they take a video. You see it looks reflective in this video, somewhat reflective, and it quickly passes by the cockpit of the aircraft.
And is this one of the phenomena that we can't explain?
I do not have an explanation for what this specific object is.
And is this one of the situations where it is, that's the object that we're looking at right there? Thank you.
Yeah, like a big waste of time.
That's our finest there.
Yeah. We don't really know what the hell it is. Might be a... Oh, man. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
It's just weird they're bringing it all up again during these certain times, like another distraction tactic, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. You know, they're not going to tell us shit. But they don't really need to, you know. And you know, they talk, and unless we have some serious technologically advanced, you know, weaponry or aircraft or whatever, it's not going to matter, because if they're coming here, they're already way more intelligent, way more sophisticated, way more advanced technology wise than we are. So, you know, what are we going to do? Not a damn thing. Take in the view and hope they don't kill us. You know, I don't think, you know, I don't think we have any, you know, unless I'm sadly mistaken and we have some great military secret weapons and stuff. But, they talk like it's a matter of, national security and this and that. We ain't going to do shit if we, unless we are holding out on some secret stuff. It's going to be like, shooting fish in a bowl for us. I mean, we're the fish in the bowl. Yeah, I had that same article just written by somebody different in it. It basically says kind of the same thing.
Yeah, there was a few. I just didn't know which one to grab.
Overall, the hearing was a welcome one. However, it represents only a single step along the road to truly getting to the bottom of the UFO phenomenon, determining once and for all what these objects are, where they're coming from, and whether or not they pose a threat. I don't know if they pose a threat. If they did, like I was saying, if they were a threat, I think they could have wiped us out a long time ago. So, I don't know.
And we know, we know they're here. They're here. They've been here.
Yep, absolutely.
So I don't know what they're trying to cover up.
Here's another one about something similar to that. Speaking of UFOs and what have you. Businessman Russ Kellett maintains that he has had close encounters with alien visitors since he was 16. The 58-year-old, who now resides in Filey, North Yorkshire, claims that he has been abducted by extraterrestrials several dozen times over the last 4 decades. His first experience happened at the age of 16 when he was riding home on his motorbike. He recalled going through a tunnel and ending up in a room like a dentist's office where he encountered 15-foot humanoid entities who were like Dracula, but without sharp teeth. Wow, that'd be frightening in itself. He claims that the alien visitors recruited him to participate in an intergalactic war. I had some sort of tube pushed down my throat, and whatever liquid they pumped into me, it turned me into one of the super soldiers, he said. For the past 30 years, I have been part of their army fighting the opposing race, the Dragos, which are tall and scaly with heads like dragons. I've been gone for years, and people don't realize, as 4 hours here is 4 years on one of the planets I've been to. In addition to taking part in numerous intergalactic battles, Kellett also claims to have met up with other abductees aboard the alien spacecraft, including fellow UFO enthusiast and singer Robbie Williams. I would rather my truth get out there than the other people's lies, he said. So, yeah, I mean, 15-foot tall humanoids and alien armies. I don't know. Could be what's happening. That would probably be a better plan than using us like cows and eating us.
I don't think they want to eat us.
Yeah, we probably taste like dirt.
Yeah. I really don't think they want to eat us.
Yeah, I think, in the grand scheme of things, I think they've been here. I think they're here. And I think they're here daily, but as primitive as we may be, I think we have something in our DNA, something in us, as humans, and something on this planet that they either want or need. Don't know exactly what it is, but I don't know.
Or we could be an experiment.
We could.
I mean, I did get my DNA results back, and it did say 1% unknown.
Yeah. What did you do DNA results with, like through?
23andMe.
Really?
My sister, I didn't want to do it because the whole DNA thing, but she really, because like my mom has like no family left at all. They, passed when she was young. So we're curious if she had anybody that third cousins, and my sister did it, and then she got me one for Christmas, and I'm like, because everyone else was doing it. I thought, screw it. I'm already in the system anyway for everything else.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I get all sorts of reports. I did the basic one. I didn't ask them to keep my sample on file to do other testing later. Not saying they really destroyed it, but
Yeah.
you can ask them to keep it on, and then they can test you for other stuff. But everything from like if you're like apt to like cilantro to if your hair might fall out, like all sorts of stuff they can tell from your DNA on
Wow.
these things. Is pretty interesting.
Yeah, like Debbie said, Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah, I started watching that again.
It's good.
I mean, every time they shoot rockets up, every time they do anything, I mean, they've recorded all kinds of UFOs, and I mean, if that's real, if what they're showing on the show is real, I mean, it's right there on video, and they get some pretty good footage.
Skinwalker Ranch is one that really made me see the correlation between what we might think is paranormal as opposed to extraterrestrial, especially when it comes to shadow people and the way some of these, the way my mom sees it when she talks about it. Because I feel like, all of a sudden I'll be standing there and like this thing could just come right through and like that quick be there and be gone. And I was telling her about, Skinwalker Ranch, and they do have sightings like that where it's like it'll be there almost like a peripheral shadow person.
Yeah.
So are those shadow people? Are they extraterrestrial? Our family has a lot of alien type stuff, like especially with my sister, where she won't even talk about it because of her experience when she was younger, and not being influenced by anything.
Yeah.
And then the shadows on my wall, when I was younger, but it's always been a curiosity.
Yeah.
It's like, because then I also have the woman, so it's like I always thought the woman was more of a ghost or a guide, but the other three things that were with me since I was little, I used to call them work from orc and wave at them, and always was convinced there's some sort of like other life force.
Yeah.
Which now I think, I've got 3 aliens and a guide that follow me around.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, between the, between the UFOs that they see, the story and stuff about the wolves and the whatever dogmen looking things, the paranormal stuff, that goes on there. I mean, it could definitely all be connected somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird that like certain people, I had an issue with their like the Faraday cage that they have, that silo. If you look at it, I mean, it's a metal cage, Faraday cage basically is what it acts as. But in the last episode I saw, I showed just one clip, and up at the top you could see daylight coming through it. So I'm like, is it really? I don't know. Maybe it's working 80%. I don't see how it could be 100%. A Faraday cage if there's daylight coming through the top of it around where the roof meets the wall. So I don't know. Maybe I was just seeing things. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but it is weird how it affects certain people at certain times, and they have all that digital data going on, and they can see when things spike, and it happens to correlate with people having headaches and feeling weird and stuff. So I don't know. Definitely strangeness.
Well, here's something strange I got. We've talked about these before, but now there is a plead to please stop picking the carnivorous penis plants.
Hungry penis plants.
The Cambodian government recently asked people to stop picking a rare carnivorous plant that, when viewed from a certain angle, looks a lot like male genitalia.
Oh,
The Cambodian Ministry of Environment shared images on Facebook of 3 women snatching up pitcher plants and posing with them, and ministry officials requested that members of the public leave the rare plants alone. Cambodian news website reported, "What they are doing is wrong, and please don't ever do it again in the future," the Ministry of Environment wrote on May 11th on the Facebook post. "Thank you for loving natural resources, but don't harvest it so it goes to waste." Now, who's saying they're going to waste? Some news websites have reported that this plant is, and that's the Latin word for it, but it's actually a closely related species called, another Latin word, a freelance wildlife photographer who first discovered it made that distinction. They're both similar in appearance and both only occur on nearby mountain ranges, which may explain the confusion. The other one is more rare of the 2 species, and only a few researchers know where to find it. "My plant grows at a few secret locations in the Cambodian mountains," he said. The other one on the far is more accessible. The Ministry of Environment's Facebook post and photos were responding to a video filmed on May 11 that showed women picking the plants. This is the first time the government has issued a warning against harming the phallic and photogenic plants. They told tourists not to pick them because this activity could drive the plants to extinction. So if you see, and they go on to talk about their nutrients and what they need, but if you're out, oh wait, I have to read this part though again. Okay, so in case you missed the last one. The plants survive on low nutrient soil by supplementing their diet with live insects, using their nectar and a sweet scent to attract the prey. When you smell whatever pitcher, it smells sweet like candy, he said. Insects feed on nectar around the mouth of the plant's modified leaves that, when mature, resemble pitchers. When insects fall inside the pitchers, they drown in digestive fluids, and the hungry plant absorbs their nutrients. A pitcher plant's phallic resemblance is most pronounced when the leaves are still developing and the pitcher is closed. So what I had read before is what happens is the bug flies down and then it squirts an actual white poisonous substance, like the lid lifts up and squirts a white substance on the bug, and then eats it.
Bugs and cream sauce.
I know I'm immature, but
so am I. Yeah.
and their little tops open.
Boing.
I wonder what the Facebook page looks like. The Cambodian Journal of what now?
Yeah, I saw up there. I saw Royal's comment about being near submarine base and being on the base a few times. I've gone up to Kingsland, Georgia, which isn't too far from where I'm at here, and there's a huge Navy sub base up there. You know, sub bases of they you know, submarines, man, they kind of freak me out a little bit. I don't know why. No, I mean, it's submarine bases are kind of strange because it's not like, you know, I mean, yeah, when the subs are in port, you know, they're up, you know, and they're there, but for the most part, submarines are you don't see them. It's not like a aircraft, Navy, Air Force, place or whatever, where all the planes are just sitting there on the tarmac. The subs,
You
it's
see the
always,
top.
yeah, submarine bases have always been kind of a little mysterious to me, anyways.
When my buddy was stationed in San Diego, he'd sneak me into the barracks where he was at, me and my friends. I have a bunch of mint in my mouth now. But we were able to go and like look at one of the submarines and everything, and I just felt all claustrophobic.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always thought a lot more goes on in a submarine base than they actually let on, because the oceans are still vastly unexplored, but submarines are down there. I'm sure they've seen stuff, just like aircraft pilots and stuff have seen UFOs here. I wonder how many submarine captains or crew members or whatever have seen stuff.
They had to have.
Yeah.
That's something to look into.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, as all I know, I was out. We used to go up there to catch shrimp, and
A shrimp?
we shrimp, Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. And we were out like super early in the morning. The sun had just come up. And I look and I see smoke coming out of the water. And I'm asking my buddy, I'm like, dude, the hell is that? He's like, oh, we got to move. And we moved out of the way. It's like, that means a sub is coming up. And man, this thing came up. It was like Leviathan. It was freaky. It was huge, big, huge black nuclear sub.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was ginormous. I was like, holy shit balls.
Creepy.
Yeah. Man, all these windows.
I know, I'm doing the same. I don't even know where I'm at.
Can't keep up with chat. Can't get the windows opening.
No.
Okay, NASA Insight landers is running out of power. Running out of power. They're going to take our jobs. All right, let me see. Make sure I got the right article here. Articulo. The space probe, which landed in the Elysium Planitia region of Mars in 2018, is now in its final months. Known as InSight, which stands for Interior Exploration Using Seismic Investigations, Geodesy, and Heat Transport. Good Lord. Okay, let's just get to it. The spacecraft has provided scientists with a wealth of information over the years. It's up there on Mars, out there on Mars, over there, wherever Mars is. It's there, supposedly. It's a primary instrument, and it's been there since 2018. Its primary instrument, a seismometer known as a Seismic Experiment for Interior Structure, or SEIS, is designed to measure seismic activity on Mars, and it has certainly achieved that goal, having detected several quakes, including a magnitude 5 tremor, the largest so far, which was picked up very recently, like 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, however, the solar panels necessary to produce the electricity needed by the probe have become so covered in dust that it looks like the mission's days are now numbered. The seismometer can continue to operate for a while. However, other systems are being permanently powered down, and within a few months, the probe will no longer be able to function at all. In July, we anticipate our seismometer to be turned off, not because we want to turn it off, but because unfortunately we don't have the energy to run it, said Deputy Project Manager Cathea Zamora Garcia. At the end of the calendar year, we do anticipate having to conclude all InSight operations. Because of dust. It's amazing, I understand it, but it's just amazing that you can have such a technically advanced piece of machinery that you can send it to Mars. It can communicate back to Earth, but the simple problem of dust covering the solar panels.
I
can
just
shut
read
it
that
all-
yesterday.
Yeah. It's like, the simplest things can throw you for a loop.
I'm
I don't know.
surprised they didn't think about it.
Maybe they should include
A
on the
robot that wipes it?
yeah, like solar powered windshield wipers or something on the thing to, just whoosh, whoosh, just wipe off the dust like every, once in a while.
Or a solar power like turbine? I don't know, something to like.
Yeah, something.
But you'd think they would think about that dust.
Yeah, I mean Mars. I don't know a whole lot about it, but from the pictures I've seen, it does look like a kind of a dusty planet. So,
Yeah, it looks like a desert dust storm. Okay, so I've got number 3. This was the Mars doorway that I had posted, and then Jason read it on Sunday. If you did not hear it, I think a couple of my stories got messed up. They're trying to say that it's not a doorway, basically, even though it does look like a doorway. I think, like, we see these on Mars, and there were some other pictures, I don't remember if it's on the moon, where, to me, what it looks like are bunker holes, almost like if Earth was radioactive, like blown up or something, and everybody has their silos and their bunker holes. That's like what I would imagine Earth would look like after. But they're saying that it's a natural feature of the Martian landscape. They say that it is natural erosion, but I still think it looks too perfect, too much like a door to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, but man, these lines, this line,
Like restraining, retaining beams and such.
yeah. I mean, it just the way this is cut. I mean, it looks to be really flat, and a 90-degree angle right here, I don't know, man. That's, nature can do some crazy things.
And slate, when slate breaks, it can look like a big sheet.
Yeah.
But I've seen this I thought it was the moon, and I thought there's other pictures like this, because I remember always saying they look like bunkers to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, your mind, you can come up with all kinds of thoughts and theories, but I don't know. It just looks cut too clean to be a natural.
And did they send how far in did the rover go?
Yeah. She tastes like cigarettes.
She tastes like
I looked up and saw that. Sorry, I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
Oh my God. So that's all I had to say about that. Was I think it's I don't take their. I mean, it's a nice explanation, but
yeah, move along. Nothing to see.
I still have my own personal thoughts, and until some other information replaces that, I'm going to stick with my thoughts.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know.
Trying to get the mojo back better after all that crazy, stressful.
They talk about the Nazca lines, and there you go. talk about the Nazca lines and this and that, and they come up with all these kind of explanations. Oh, it's naturally occurring. Bullshit.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff isn't. Nature's pretty cool, but she ain't that cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's some stuff that even nature's gonna have a hard time with.
Okay, these next two that I got are kind of just not. They're not spacey. They're not extraterrestrial. They're not paranormal. But it's just
Weird.
again. I say every week. What the hell is wrong with people? That's what these next couple fall under. What the hell is wrong with people? People done gone crazy, man. Like this lady. Woman strips, urinates on the floor of a Georgia Walmart after a profanity-laced. I just left Walmart not too long ago. I could have been witness to something like this, but my Walmart trip tonight. Other than there was a girl in there on a phone that was apparently breaking up with her boyfriend, and I didn't. Oh man, I should have recorded it. Could have played it tonight. Yeah, she was having quite the conversation on the phone in the middle of Walmart over by the cosmetics section. No, the profanity was flying. Just say that. It was a Walmart moment. Well, this lady apparently had her own Walmart moment as well. Let's see. Fayetteville, Georgia. Police have arrested a woman they say stripped and urinated on the floor. What is it with people peeing on stuff in stores, man? What is it? In a Fayetteville Walmart, after going on a profanity-laced trade through the store and hitting an employee, according to the citizen, police say April Barrow, 40, was searching for prophylactics on April 29th around 6:30 a.m. So she was up in a Walmart 6:30 a.m. looking for some rubbers, and then she started cussing at employees and throwing things at them. Witnesses said she then punched an employee, stripped naked, and peed on the floor. Again, I'll say it again. What the hell's wrong with people? I don't understand. I've been in a lot of really weird situations. And I may have even been intoxicated a few times. I've never had the urge to strip and piss on the Walmart floor. Never. Never had that urge.
And even when I peed on my PE floor, I told you about that, the gym floor, I didn't strip completely down. And I told him I was going to do it before I did it.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Marie, maybe they're just got mental issues and not getting what they need. I don't know. Yeah, I've like I say, I've done some crazy weird shit before and even had a pretty good buzz doing some of it, but I've never done that.
It's a first time for everything.
There is. Hey, Walmart. Nope, they're closed. Have to go in the morning. She was there at 6:30. Damn, what time did Walmart open? Holy crap.
She really needed to get those.
Yeah, she must have been working.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, she must have been on a job on a rubber run.
Rubber run. 6:30 in the morning. She must be stocking up for the next rubber run.
Before work happens. I gotta get the rubbers and get out of here. I'm just gonna piss on the floor. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
so let's see. I might have what's wrong with people here.
Royal says Walmart opens at 6 a.m. There you go. She was fresh on she was like probably waiting at the door.
I had a hard time with articles this week. This is a short one. It doesn't have to do with urinating per se, but an Arkansas water tower leak makes a Johnny Cash silhouette appear to be urinating, and it does. I mean, I don't know what to say, but
Yep.
it does. May 17, Johnny Cash is once again making headlines in his Arkansas hometown after a bullet hole in a very sensitive area of the musician's silhouette on the local water tower made the man in black appear to be urinating. Mayor Luke Neal of Kingsland said a bullet struck the town's water tower last week, right between the legs of a Johnny Cash silhouette. Somebody shot our water tower, shot the silhouette of Johnny Cash in a very sensitive area. It's been leaking for almost a week. The town is losing about, this isn't funny though, the town is losing about 30,000 gallons of water per day at a daily cost of about $200. The site of Johnny Cash's silhouette spraying water onto the ground below has been drawing in tourists to witness the unusual scene. Why don't they charge money then to like look at it to fix it? Or like put another something to catch the water.
Yep.
That'd be too hard. The site of Cash's silhouette spraying water on the ground. Oh yeah. Just the placement of where it was. I mean, it was, you could tell someone trying to be funny, obviously. Neal said the water tower previously leaked from a bullet hole in 1993, and an investigation's been opened into the most recent bullet hole. So, you know, the guy who did this just thinks it's funny. He's like, I got the perfect shot, man.
Yep.
I wonder if he used like a laser pointer or what, but he's going to definitely pay for that.
Yeah. I watched a video on this earlier, and the news reporter lady was out there. She had her umbrella. You could hear the water hitting the umbrella.
Oh my goodness.
She's getting the Johnny Cash golden shower.
Yeah, you know, maybe people would pay to get a selfie of themselves getting a Johnny Cash golden shower.
Yep.
I mean, it's not, you know, R. Kelly, but
Okay, so this next one, I was listening to the radio today, and they were talking about this, and I've had my own conversations with a couple people about this. Well, but not about this in particular, but the same issues, basically. Teens face sexual harassment charges for not using a student's correct pronouns. Yeah. You know.
I heard about that too.
Yeah. I'm just like, you know, I don't know. I don't have any problem with what people do, how they want to be seen, you know, how they want to, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think whether, you know, you're gay or trans or straight or fucking whatever, I don't think any of that gives you the right to basically change the English language just for you. I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand it. Somebody explain it to me. 3 schoolboys are being taken to court in the U.S. state of Wisconsin after allegedly refusing to call a fellow student as by their preferred pronoun. The trio of 8th graders from Kiel Middle School in Wisconsin have been charged under the Title IX sexual harassment legislation, which usually deals with serious crimes such as rape, date violence, quid pro sexual favors, and other sexually violent crimes. One of the boys' mothers, Rosemary Robideau, revealed that she went into shock when her son's school called her to make her aware of the investigation. I received a phone call from the principal over the elementary school, forewarning me, letting me know that I was going to be receiving an email with a sexual harassment allegation against my son. I immediately was freaking out. I'm thinking sexual harassment, that's rape, that's inappropriate touching, that's incest. What the hell has my son done? Turns out her son, 13-year-old Braden, alleged offense was none of the above. She said he's being allegedly charged with sexual harassment for not using proper pronouns. Again, what the hell is wrong with people? Come on. I thought it wasn't real. I thought this has got to be a gag or a joke or something. One has nothing to do with the other. The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty will be defending the accused boys and refutes claims that misuse of pronouns is not covered by Title IX, the legislation that protects people from discrimination based on sex in the education system. School administrators can't force minor students to comply with their preferred mode of speaking, will Deputy Counsel Luke Berg said in an online statement. And they certainly shouldn't be slapping 8th graders with Title IX investigations for what amounts to protected speech. This is a terrible precedent to set with enormous ramifications. You think? The 3 boys are charged. One of them allegedly declined to use the they, them pronoun that the fellow student asked everyone to use a month earlier. Rosemary Robideau said her son stood up for one of his friends and he was being verbally abused for misguiding the fellow student. Misgendering, excuse me. Let me make it straight. Misgendering the fellow student. I don't know. All that shit's confusing as hell to me. Not my world anymore. I don't understand it. When I first heard of this pronoun thing, I was just like, no, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Another thing just to divide people.
Yeah, I mean, really, they, them. Don't call me a he. Don't call me a she. Yeah. I mean, really? I would be like, hey, I'm not going to call you they or them. I'm going to call you dickhead, dumbass.
Yeah.
You give me a name like that.
I mean, you can't expect people to know stuff if it, or then remember like that quick. And if you're somebody in my family, which I do have in my family, then okay, this is what you're being called now. Okay. And there's still times we forget. But because they're in our family, try to be respectful and remember. But if I don't know you, don't expect me to know your like whole resume and
Yeah.
it's like I'm a this, that, and it's like, but don't label me.
Yep.
And this whole entire thing, like you cannot get mad at people for not remembering all that.
Yeah.
Especially if they do not know you.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, yeah, same with me. I mean, I have a few people in my family, that are, like talking to my goddaughter. She was trying to explain it to me one day, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just old school. It's not my world anymore. I don't understand where or why you're going with this. I love you, but let's just talk about something else.
Yeah.
Because you're warping my mind right now. I know you.
You're tripping me out, man.
If you want to be called something else, that's fine. But they, them, yours, pronouns, really?
It'll take a little bit of remembering and getting to, remember.
I don't
China has a giant sinkhole with a forest found inside it. And I had a couple, like, next week I'll talk about, you guys probably already seen it in the news, like that yellow brick road to Atlantis or something like that. I'm going to do that next week. But this week I'm doing the giant sinkhole found in China, which I think is pretty trippy.
Yeah. It was a lot cooler than the sinkhole we had here last week.
But the sinkhole is 630 feet deep. Deep enough to just swallow St. Louis Gateway Arch. A team of spelunkers rappelled into the sinkhole on Friday, May 6th, my birthday, discovering that there are 3 cave entrances into the chasm, as well as ancient trees, 131 feet tall, stretching their branches toward the sunlight that filters through the sinkhole entrance. This is cool news, said George, the executive director of the National Cave Research Institute in the U.S. He's an expert on caves. He was not involved in the exploration of the cave, but the organization that is their sister institute. The discovery is no surprise, he told Live Science, because southern China is home to crass topography, a landscape prone to dramatic sinkholes and otherworldly caves. The landscapes are formed primarily with the dissolution of bedrock. Rainwater is slightly acidic, picks up carbon dioxide as it runs through the soil, becoming more acidic. It then trickles, rushes, flows through cracks in the bedrock, slowly widening them into tunnels and voids. Over time, if a cave chamber gets large enough, the ceiling can gradually collapse, opening up huge sinkholes. Because of the local differences in geology, climate, and other factors, appears that the surface can be dramatically different. So in China, you can have this incredibly visually spectacular karst with enormous sinkholes and giant cave entrance and so forth. In other parts of the world, you'll walk out and you really don't notice anything. Sinkholes might be quite subdued, only a meter or 2 in diameter. Cave entrances might be so very small you have to squeeze your way into them. So the new discovery took place in the county of Lai, known for its fabulous karst formations, which range from sinkholes to rock pillars, natural bridges. And then they go on to talk about why sinkholes matter. But yeah, beautiful. Just nature never seems to surprise me with the beauties that we keep finding. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty impressive sinkhole right there.
yeah.
It reminds me of like, a terrarium in a bottle or something.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking, with like these ancient ass trees.
It's a trip.
All these like wonderful things we keep finding.
Cool. Where are you going next? I'm out of stuff, I think. Am I? Yeehaw. Yeah, I think I am. Yep.
Well, I have the veterans not talking about the UFO, and then the Metallica baby thing.
All right.
You don't want to do the Florida woman that, what was she? Oh yeah, the Florida clown trial. The woman that killed her husband when she was dressed like a clown.
Was that one in here?
Well, I sent you the actual article
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't know if you wanted to do like the follow up to it, since we read about it when it first had happened. But if not, I've got veterans were told to stay quiet after seeing UFO in the Middle East. And they had a lot of different pictures. These are the gentlemen at the bottom. The names had gotten cut off. They were told to keep their mouths shut.
Move along. Nothing to see.
3 former cavalrymen revealed their encounter with UFO at a Middle East military base in 2014 and complained they had no official way to report the strange sighting. Now the 3 veterans are speaking exclusively to Daily Mail. In a rare on-record interview as the first public congressional hearings on UFOs in half a century goes underway on Tuesday. And thank y'all for your service, and thank y'all for speaking on this matter. They said they saw 8 bright objects hovering and zipping across the sky at incredible speeds from a desert outpost on the Egyptian border around December 2014. The 3 cavalry scouts who were trained in identifying aircraft believe the objects they witnessed were of non-human origin. One claims he was told to keep your mouth shut by a senior officer after word spread among his spread around about his sighting. The men said they were afraid to make official reports about the incident for fear of being sent for a career-damaging psychological eval, and said there was no proper process to make such a report anyway. Their case is an example of the concerning incursions of sensitive airspace by apparently technologically sophisticated craft, and the military's failure to collect data on such incidents or take them seriously. Sergeant Travis Bingham, 36, E4 Specialist Vishal Singh, 29, and Private First Class Dovell Ingram, 28, were all stationed at Observation Post 3-1 near the south end of the Israel-Egypt border. Their 3rd Cavalry was part of a multinational force and observers mission deployed to monitor the borders for 9 months. Ingram was the first to spot something strange while on watch, and I believe Ingram was the first guy in the picture at the bottom. He described being scared shitless after seeing a bright apparent aircraft in the night sky. The craft appeared to be spinning as smaller lights emerged from it, which seemed to spiral like fireworks. He said he radioed other outposts at least 200 miles away, and they replied they could also see the lights. After watching for 2 minutes, he called his sergeant. Now living in Fort Hood, Texas, Bingham had served in Iraq and Afghanistan, thought he'd seen it all, but was unprepared for the sight. I would describe it as a big object with several smaller objects, which appeared to be communicating or scuffling, like a dogfight in the air, he said. We knew it wasn't our military, and it was baffling. The objects were glowing. You could clearly see them with the naked eye, and it was clear how fast they were moving. To this day, I'd never seen anything like the craft covering such distance with extreme speeds. Singh said after spotting the craft, he focused on it using his night vision goggles, and that's what one of them pictures are. He said it was difficult to identify his shape as the edges seemed blurry, but he could roughly see an oval-shaped object in a horizontal position that was the size of a jumbo jet. The craft and smaller objects began moving like fireflies, left, right, up, and down. They were turning everywhere instantaneously. They must have been 30,000 feet high in the sky. I can't imagine any military that has that type of technology.
Yeah.
We're talking U-turns while at hypersonic speeds. Although unable to get precise measurements of the object's speed of evaluation, Singh said they flew from one end of the horizon to the other in just seconds, and estimated they were traveling at several thousand miles per hour. All of a sudden, the smaller objects rejoined the craft. The craft appeared to shrink smaller and smaller until it just disappeared. It didn't just fly into space, it just gradually disappeared. All of a sudden, the smaller objects, a senior staffer at a U.S. defense contractor said they knew of no technology held by the U.S. or other major militaries that could exhibit such behavior. The USA, Europe, and China are all pursuing drone mothership technology, where a mothership aircraft launches and recovers swarms of drones, said the contractor. However, the capabilities I'm describing here do not match the description of moving like fireflies or making U-turns at a high speed. So I don't know what these soldiers saw, but it doesn't sound like anything I've ever seen. The troops were left shaken and stunned by what they witnessed. All were trained observers and familiar with all military aircraft that they could expect to see in the region. Ingram said that while in his watchtower, he asked his international comrades to check with Egyptian and Israel authorities, but said neither knew what the craft were. Although their mission was to observe potential military activities in the regions, the three soldiers said they were unable to report what they had seen. We could have reported an aircraft signing, but how could we have described the fuselage when it had none? Or fuselage. In December last year, Congress passed a bill mandating a new UFO office to help take such sightings seriously. The new law, part of the latest defense spending authorization bill, requires the government to establish procedures to synchronize and standardize the collection, reporting, and analysis of incidents, including adverse psychological effects regarding unidentified aerial phenomena across the Department of Defense and intelligence in the community. And then they went on to talk about, again, what they just talked about in Congress and the clips that they had used for their examples, which were like that blue one that we just looked at, the Navy pilots one that had been shown.
Yeah.
Basically it. So these guys putting their asses on the line to talk about it.
Yeah, like I said, I have a friend who's a commercial pilot, that flies big jets, and I've asked him before, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't talk about it," for fear of losing his job if it ever got out, because they specifically told him not to discuss what he sees up in the sky. So if they're telling him not to discuss what he sees up in the sky, that pretty much proves it right there, that there's shit flying around up there without a doubt. They know it.
That's what my common sense tells me.
Yeah.
And then are you going to do that?
Yeah, pulled the clown out. The clown killer. My shoes and my socks. Florida killer clown trial delayed a 6th time. West Palm Beach, Florida. Florida judge has reluctantly delayed the trial of a woman accused of dressing like a clown and fatally shooting her lover's wife more than 30 years ago. Good God. After defense attorneys said they are having a hard time contacting the witness. The trial for Sheila Keene Warren was supposed to begin June 3rd, but on Tuesday, Palm Beach County Circuit Judge Scott Susquer agreed to what could be a 4-month delay. The Palm Beach Post reported Susquer said he had already cleared his schedule, delaying the trials and hearings to be able to preside over a 3-week trial. Think about the impact it has on me. I have a daily duty to the public, he told lawyers. You also have the victim's family that is waiting a long time for justice. This is the 6th time this trial has been delayed. It was May 1990 when Marlene Warren opened the door and was shot in the face by a clown delivering carnations and balloons to her home in Wellington, a suburb of West Palm Beach, court's records show. The former Sheila Keene, rumored to be having an affair with Marlene Warren's husband, Michael Warren, was considered a suspect, but the case against her seemed thin. 2 nights before the killing, a woman showed up at a costume store telling clerks she urgently needed a clown suit, an orange wig, white gloves, and a red nose, and enough white makeup to cover her face completely. One of the clerks identified her in the photo lineup, but the other clerk wasn't sure. She later married Michael Warren, and they were living in Virginia when investigators said DNA provided the evidence they needed to arrest her in 2017. Assistant State Attorney Reed Scott agreed the latest delay was unavoidable. I want this defendant to be fully prepared for trial, she said. I don't want to deal with appellate issues. The defense team, Richard Lubin, Greg Rosenfeld of Army, and Amy Morse, blamed Scott, writing that he didn't provide them with names and addresses of key witnesses. They are now scattered across the country. The defense team said they also needed to view evidence, including hair fibers, 2 balloons, a Publix bag, car rental papers that was not in the evidence locker at the sheriff's office. Those items had been sent to forensics for review, they said. Come on, man. It's been freaking 30 years. Get your shit together. It's not rocket science. It doesn't take that long. Just people like dropping the wheel on this one. Yeah. It goes on to talk about it some more, but basically they're just dragging ass on this whole thing. 30 years it's been dragging out. Come on. Well, he says, can I bring down the price of gas? I would love to, because I just filled my car up today and it cost a freaking fortune. And I get 15 cents off per gallon from the Wawa for using the Wawa app.
I put $50 in my car and I got 8-point-something gallons.
Good Lord. Yeah, there's a sign up.
It was 6-something.
Jeez. There's a sign here. It's been here for, like the gas pump sign. $8.88 a gallon. I mean, that's not how much it is here. But for some reason, the sign says $8.88 for a gallon of regular. And it's been that way for like 3 weeks. And they haven't changed it. I don't know what or why they've done that. But yeah. Yeah, it's not as much here as it is out there, but it's still crazy. It's, regular. I don't know. It's like $4.59 or something.
I miss 4.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's just going to keep going up, too. It ain't going to come back down.
It'll never come back down. The food, all of it will never come back down.
Food is like stupid. I was in Walmart tonight, and I shop at Publix a lot, but I can't buy meat there because it's just so damn expensive. And like a pack of chicken is, chicken breast is like $25. And so, you go to Walmart and get it, and it's like $11. It's like half the price. And I was there tonight, and I grabbed a pack of hamburger meat. It was a 3-pound package of hamburger meat. It was $25. I was like, oh hell no, I don't want
Oh
hamburger.
no.
I want a hamburger that bad. I put that shit back. Yeah, food has just gone up and up and up.
But I did get my plants start, and I didn't realize it when I'm like, damn it, I need to do it today. I need to get them seeds in the ground today. And that was the day of the eclipse where they say that's the day to plant. And I'm like, oh, I just knew it without knowing it.
Yeah.
But that was my planting day. But yeah, I got my babies in the ground.
Whoa. You put $25 in his F-150 and the needle didn't even move. I believe it.
Yeah, mine was on empty, and I had put in it was like 15 or 20, and normally that would bring me up to at least like almost a quarter tank or more.
Yeah.
I was still had the low fuel light on. That was
Jeez.
the beginning. Speaking of babies, Metallica baby. Woman gives birth at Brazil stadium show as the band plays Inner Sandman.
Wow, that's hardcore.
That's savage. Like, I'm thinking, whoa, that's like your birthing song. You like, hush, little baby.
Boo. Yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, I've never been pregnant, obviously, but you know, I mean, wow, you're like ready to like drop a baby and you're going to see Metallica. That, you know,
She's like, I had these tickets forever, man.
yeah, I may have a baby, but I'm gonna go see Metallica tonight.
Maybe she was late and thought that the jumping around would help loosen it up like a trampoline. I don't know. If I was that close, I wouldn't want to be. Just trying to like walk around is miserable. It's like elbows up, you're walking through, can't get to a bathroom, like.
And then you're like on top of that, it's like, oh shit, here comes a baby.
Yeah, and then your water breaks.
Well, I bet that's one way to clear a crowd, though.
Yeah. The mosh pit all falls down.
Yeah.
So Joyce was 39 weeks pregnant. And wait, how many weeks is it normally?
Yeah, it's a little early, I think, or pretty close, but.
Sitting in a special area at a Metallica show in Brazil when her contractions began during the set. She had posted details of her son's unusual birthplace on Instagram, with the band sharing the news with fans. So she's like going to birth and still posting. But one newborn in Brazil now surely lays claim to the most rock and roll arrival of all time. 2-day-old Luan Figueiredo was born at a Metallica gig at the stadium in Brazil's southern state to the sound of Enter Sandman. Metallica have shared details of the birth with their 8.2 million followers on the band's Instagram stories. And Joyce Figueroa, who bought tickets to the show 3 years ago, said she was 39 weeks pregnant and sitting in a special area for the show when her contractions began during the set. With just 3 songs to go, the plan was to take her to the hospital by ambulance, but there was no more time. She's like, 3 more songs.
Stuff it back in there.
And you know they wait. They're like, oh God, like, die for like an hour. Sharing the news and posts written in both Portuguese and English on Instagram, as Figueroa says her son was born right there in the stadium as the band's biggest hit, Inner Sandman, played. The whole day was very crazy, she said, adding that she had joked the little boy's name would be James Ulrich after Metallica's frontman and James Hetfield and drummer Lars Ulrich. She said she had received lots of messages at her son's birth and thanked well-wishers for their support. I'm great physically and trying to understand how this happened. She's trying to understand how it happened.
Wow.
That's what's wrong in our world.
I've never been pregnant, but I know how it happens.
Yeah, and she doesn't know how she gave birth at a concert. You were pregnant. You went to a concert during your due time, and it was an unusual welcome into the world, but little Lewin was not the first baby born at a gig. In 2019, a woman gave birth during a Pink gig at the Repulse Stadium and reportedly went on to name the little girl Dolly Pink. Well, that's not as, I mean, that's cute, but not as cool as Enter Sandman. Giving birth during Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
She screams, nobody hears it. She's like, ah, they're like, yeah.
Sleep, little baby. Yeah.
He comes up like the doctor and hands her the baby.
Yeah, really.
And that just put a lot of mental images in my mind. But yeah, I mean, kids say I was born, in the back of this. I was born in, the back of a bowling alley. I was born at a Metallica concert. And then their friends like, who's Metallica?
Who's Metallica? What? Who? When? Where? Come on, Wolfie. You know how it happens. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. There
Sometimes a lot of this and a little of
you go.
that.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's all the news I got.
That's all the news I got.
I was gonna do. It was funny. I was listening to the radio yesterday, and can you imagine that? I listened to the radio, and they were talking about a person that had, passed and was in the casket and blew up, and I'm like, oh man, I got to get this.
Like spontaneously?
Like
combustion?
Well, not really. They were just in the coffin and they just exploded, basically.
Like their gases?
Yeah.
But didn't they get embalmed?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I was thinking this, happened like, this week. And and I'm listening to the story and I'm like, I know this story. This didn't happen this week. This happened a long time ago. It was about Bishop Verrat that he's buried here in St. Augustine. Let's see if this tells about. Boom goes the bishop. It was mid-June and Florida was scorching. To keep the bishop cool enough for the mourners to visit, a pit was made. The cavity was lined with sawdust and ice. You got to know, this is a long time ago. Before the bishop's body was inserted, his custom-made casket was built of iron with a glass top that would allow for effortless viewing of the body. Only the best for Florida's first bishop. Before being put in the pit, the coffin was hermetically sealed, perhaps too much so. The humid southern heat and the gases of the Bishop Verrat's corpse were expelling began to interact. Warmth continued to penetrate the casket, but with no ventilation, the coffin began to make noises. No one could have predicted what happened next. Before anyone could react, Bishop Verrat's body exploded. The eruption shattering the casket's glass top. Everyone was hit by a storm of decomposing flesh. That'd be one funeral that you would never forget.
That's what was just going through my head. I thought, will it? Will it? Are they? Oh, front row gets the splash zone.
Yeah, it'd be like going to what's his name, the comedian.
Whoa, the watermelons.
Yeah.
Gallagher.
There you go.
Being in the splash zone at Waterworld.
Yeah. Struck with horror, attendees rushed his body to the small white chapel located opposite of the cemetery entrance and buried along with Father Varela, a prospective saint from Cuba. But everyone could still feel the dead bishop on their skin. So yeah, this really did happen. And what's left of the exploded bishop is it's in the Talamado Cemetery, which is here in good old St. Augustine, Florida. Here's the picture of it from the website.
So did they try to scrape back together as much as they could to put back in? I mean, at least it was a closed casket to begin with.
Yeah.
But did they try to retrieve as much of his matter back as they could?
I think so. They were like spatulas. Anyone have spatulas?
You know, you could go and wring your hair out over here.
Yep.
I'm getting like an image from a movie where they all got hit across something in the face, and I can't remember. It wasn't the piano line.
Yep. Yeah, I was listening to this story on the radio yesterday, and I'm thinking it was like it had just happened. And I'm thinking, how could this happen? You know, and then the more I listened, I'm like, wait a minute, I know this story. This is like from a long time ago, but yes, it was true.
That is crazy.
Yep. The exploding bishop. Imagine being at the funeral and, you know, you hear the casket, boom, and you're hit in the face with giblets.
I wonder if they could flip it around and turn it into like a godly thing, like, you know, how you eat the body of Christ. Well, now you're wearing you know what I mean? Like, you know, you've been blessed. Like, maybe this is the highest form of a blessing.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
The guy exploded in the restaurant. Just one more wafer thin mint. Can I get you anything? Give me a bucket.
And a mop.
Yeah. Giblet gravy at the funeral. Anybody want to go have biscuits and gravy at the after party?
Oh.
Good gracious.
Tommy says he knows where that's at.
Yep, he's not too far from here. One wafer thin mint, sir.
Do you have any Grey Poupon? Got about 20 minutes. What you got going on in that little mind of yours?
I can read some of those crazy cards, or we could actually do some regular cards, or
I think the crazy cards are fun, but what does everybody else want to do?
Bishop and gravy, exactly. Yeah, I think that was quite a bit before embalming. They just stuffed you in a box of sawdust and hoped for the best.
There was a crime show I was watching the other day, and it was a crazy story and everything. And the body had been tried to be weighted down, but in the center mass of it had a crap load of stab wounds and stuff, and they couldn't figure out like why they were stabbed so many times. And she's, you know, the body was like being held down. And I said to my mom, I said, I bet you it had to do with gases building up. Well, sure enough, the girl, they asked her, and she says, well, when I was trying to do it, because she was a nurse, She said the gases in the body kept blowing up and pulling the weights and stuff up. She said, so I had to keep stabbing all the different organs to try to get the body to sink.
Damn.
But I called it. Those confessions are horrible to listen to.
Yeah. I was looking for my glasses and my shoes.
It's like, I don't understand how people can be so.
Oh man, people are whackety whacked. Well, speaking of bodies doing weird things, let's see if I can read these without my glasses. I don't know where my glasses are. Spent $300 on them and don't know where they are. Damn it.
That should have a
Sometimes-
backup pair too.
Yeah, I don't have those yet.
Mm.
Sometimes our bodies work against us. If you have Undine's curse, you will A, go into shock because your heart stops pumping. B, forget to breathe and die. C, wake up every 5 minutes of your sleep cycle. Or D, lose all control of your bowel movements. Wow.
And what was the syndrome called?
Undine's, Ondines, curse. A, go into shock because your heart stops pumping. B, forget to breathe and die. C, wake up every 5 minutes. Or D, lose control and poop your pants.
Well, it's a curse. I'm going to have to say pooping your pants.
I may have had that a while back. Debbie says C. Heather says D. Wolfie says all of the above. Well, the answer apparently is B. You forget to breathe and die.
Oh,
I wonder
dear.
if I have that because sometimes I wake up at night. I'm like,
You got sleep apnea. That's Jeff.
maybe.
My ex had it. You need one of the breathing machines, CPAP.
Yeah.
Even freaking Florida had it. But sleep apnea's no joke. Jeff would be going, and I'd be like, until like you start breathing again. I'm like, I can't sleep when you're not breathing.
Yeah, really.
But get that looked at.
Yeah, one of my best friends died from that. Went to sleep, never woke up.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it. And when you have them CPAP machines, like they have like a white noise sound to them, and you know, it might not be the best thing that you want to wear on your face, but it helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
Does it run in your family at all?
I don't think so. In 2002, a team of paleontologists in England announced that they had discovered the world's oldest A, pile of poop, B, human penis, C, fossilized dog, or D, pile of vomit.
I'm gonna say pile of poop.
Wolfie says B, human penis. Briar says C, fossilized dog. Heather says D, pile of vomit. Debbie says A, pile of poop. Zariana says A or B. Wolfie's going to go with the penis. Margie goes with B. So far, I've only seen one person that got it right, and that would be Heather with the world's oldest pile of vomit.
Nice.
Gnarly. I wonder what puked.
Yeah, I wonder what was in the puke.
Must have been one huge pile of barf.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
It's probably all fossilized and pretty. Oh, is that beautiful crystalline corn in there?
According to several studies, you are more likely to have allergies, get migraines, or become an alcoholic if you are A, under 5 feet tall, B, a ginger, C, a second born child, or D, left handed.
You're more likely to what now?
You're more likely to have allergies, get migraines, or become an alcoholic if you are A, under 5 feet, B, a ginger, C, second born child, or D, left handed.
Mm,
This one makes sense to me, actually.
I forgot. Again, okay, I'm going to say, I wanted to say the ginger. All I remember is ginger left-handed and 5 feet tall.
Under 5 feet tall, B is a ginger, C is a second born child, or D is left handed.
Mm, second born child.
Again, I only seen one person with the right answer, and it is D, left handed, which I am left handed, and I do get migraines.
Ah.
I could have been an alcoholic, but I stopped that. And I'm just weird left-handed, like I was out playing, I played that disc golf league game last Saturday. Be doing it again this Saturday. And I got in a position to where I couldn't throw with my right hand, which I normally do. I'm left-handed, but I throw right-handed. I'm one of those weirdos, And I kick a ball with my right foot.
I'm ambidextrous. I do both.
Yeah, so am I. Because
like I write with the left, I cut with my right, I cook
Yep.
with both.
Yep, I can eat with both. Yeah, I was in a position where I couldn't throw. I was like right up in the bushes, and I couldn't throw with my right hand. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go left-handed on this one. And I picked up the disc and I threw it left-handed, and I got it right up to the basket. And everybody was like, "Are you left-handed?" I'm like, "Yeah." "You've been throwing left-handed the whole time?" "No."
Trick shot.
Yep. I said, I can do it both ways.
That's awesome.
Think you're safe? According to a 2010 report, 22,000 of these are scattered around the world. A, rabid animals. B, known terrorists. C, active volcanoes. Or D, active nuclear bombs. 22,000 of these are scattered around the world.
Nuclear bombs. I'd say terrorists, but all over the world. Bombs.
Yeah. Several people, including Jamie, got this one right. D, active nuclear bombs. There's 22,000 of these scattered around the world. Wowzers. That's some serious.
That is some scary stuff.
Yeah.
That is what used to make me want to order cyanide.
Yeah, really. Yeah, Evelyn, wow is right. How about this one? Almost half of emergency room visits every year are connected to this affliction. A, gunshot wounds. B, objects up the butt.
Yeah.
C, panic attacks, or D, peanut allergies?
Objects up the butt.
That's what I would go with. Zeriana goes with objects up the butt. B. Royal says D. Peanut allergies.
That's a big one.
Evelyn says D. Heather says D. And you all would be correct. It's peanut allergies. Peanut allergies outweigh objects up the butt. I would have went with objects up the butt because
Oh, wow.
you know. But
Yeah, peanut allergies are no joke.
everybody should know this one. Well, not everybody, but most people should probably know this one. If you're dining in Japan, be careful if you're eating this dish, as it could kill you if it's prepared wrong.
The blowfish.
A, fugu, which is blowfish. B, sippin, soft-shelled turtle. C, namako, which is a sea cucumber. Or D, courage, which is a jellyfish. And yeah, I think everybody's going to know this one. It's the fugu.
Fugu.
The blowfish. It will fugu you up if you don't prepare it properly.
Remember the Simpsons had the three-eyed one?
Yeah.
It was so delicate. And they cut it and it like turned to dust.
This is an interesting one. Eating large doses of the toxic compound called glycocolloid can cause diarrhea, vomiting, or even death. Which common side dish contains this compound and the levels aren't reduced during cooking?
What?
Yeah, I'll read that one more time. Eating large doses of, it'll make you not want to eat this probably anymore. Eating large doses of toxic compound called glycoalkaloid can cause diarrhea, vomiting, even death. Which common side dish contains this compound and the levels aren't reduced during cooking? A, corn on the cob. B, Brussels.
Is that antifreeze?
Glycoalkaloid. I don't think so.
Or glyco, okay.
C is broccoli, or D is potatoes.
Read those one more time because I interrupted you.
A is corn on the cob. B is Brussels sprouts. C is broccoli, or D is potatoes.
It's maybe broccoli, but I'm going to go with potatoes because of fermenting and weird stuff that they do.
Yeah. I just ate corn on the cob. I like Brussels sprouts. I know you hate Brussels sprouts. Broccoli. I love broccoli.
Love broccoli.
And potatoes. I like potatoes.
I like potatoes.
You said potatoes. Zeriana says A or D. She says corn or potatoes. John says potatoes. Heather says potatoes.
William says C.
Potatoes is the correct answer. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day. Glycoalkaloids in potatoes. And if you eat too much, it can cause vomiting.
Oh, wait. Glycerin glycol is something like that is antifreeze. Glycol. The alkoid. That made me think of how you can turn like tomato or potatoes into clocks.
Yeah.
This is going to bug me. What is the word for antifreeze?
propylene glycol.
Yep, there you go. Ethylene glycol. Did you know if you're poisoned with arsenic, when they cut you open, it smells like rotten, sour almonds?
Uh-huh. Why does your shed smell like rotten almonds? If you have alien hand syndrome, you are a person who, A, whose hand acts on its own, and
Long fingers.
you may even choke yourself. B, whose hands turn green when they're cold. C, who has to wear rings on every finger. D, who's allergic to latex gloves.
Oh,
If you have alien hand syndrome.
it's got to be A or B then. Your hand turns green? Or your hands do things on their own?
Yeah,
Maybe turning green.
your hands do things on its own. You may even choke yourself. I don't know. I've never had
That's a little crazy.
That's actually the answer.
The grabbing yourself by the throat?
Just your hands act on their own, and you could even choke yourself.
Okay,
Alien
I don't like that.
I don't like that one either, you know?
If you had a partner like that, so like all of a sudden, like you're sleeping and this clamp
Yeah.
comes up.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to choke you.
Like, no, yo, you need to sleep with oven mitts on your hands.
It really, you need to sleep in of the room.
Yeah, with the other hand handcuffed to the bedpost. I wonder why they call it alien hands. Alien, because it just does stuff.
I guess so. So, what is the most shoplifted or stolen book ever? What is the book people steal the most? A, Don Quixote. B, The Fellowship of the Ring. C, The Hobbit. Or D, the Bible.
The Bible. Because the hotel rooms and stuff.
Yeah. 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 It would have to be the Bible.
And then you take those special pages out of the back. I never understood why people, like, just because it's like in a drawer, why do you have to take it?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want it.
Okay. If you're out hiking and you come across wombat poop, here's a weird fact about their feces.
Mm-hmm.
A, their poop is one of their main food sources.
Mm-hmm.
Gnarly. B, their poop doesn't have an odor. C, they poop out of their mouth. That's disgusting.
South
D,
Park.
Or D, their poop comes out perfectly cubed.
I'm going to say maybe they eat it. Though the cubed thing.
There's some cubed poop over here.
I believe that's a wombat
Oh,
shit.
that would be the gray wombat.
That's the great wombat shit.
Yeah, Royal gets it with D. Their poop comes out perfectly cubed. This is something I didn't know until now.
Perfectly cubed. So they have like a round butthole?
I don't know. I've never observed a wombat's
Now I have to look at a wombat's butthole.
Yep. Because there's some mechanics going on in there to create a bird that's perfectly cubed.
That's pretty interesting.
Wombats got skills.
Yeah, they do. They're like, want me to crap you up.
Hey, man,
Like, what do you make out of like sugar cube? Like little
you want me to shit a brick for you? You go.
shitter brick. Yeah. I'm trying to think of them igloos. Like you could build an igloo with cubes. What else? Oh, you don't have dice? Here, let me craft some out for
Yeah,
you.
some dice. If you work at this job, watch your back. Which occupation has seen the most number of people murdered on the job rise every year since 2014? So who gets killed the most? Is it A, food delivery drivers, B, postal workers, C, sneaker store employees, or D, fast food workers?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, this one surprises me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'd say fast food worker, but no.
Hmm?
Uh,
Hmm?
well, I'll go with sneaker salesman since I started to change it.
I don't know, They always say go with your gut instinct.
Yeah.
It would be D, fast food workers. Because people get pissed when they order hamburger with no onions or no
Or like
mayo.
mayonnaise. Yeah.
Yeah, no mayonnaise, and you get your burger and you're like driving away and you open it up and you're just waiting to eat it.
Thumb stuck in mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm. And you're just like, that's it. And then you just turn around and go back and
But it's not like a health reason, like it's a safety reason.
probably.
Like people really coming to.
I know I've completely lost my shit a few times, and I hate to admit it, at a drive-through. That's why I don't even like go to them anymore. Although I gotta admit, I don't know what it is. Chick-fil-A, man, they know how to operate a drive-through.
They don't have problems.
No, it's ridiculous. Like I can pull into the Chick-fil-A here and there'll be like 50 people in the line and you're there 5 minutes. I mean, they're in and out. That night I went to the concert, we stopped at Whataburger.
Yeah.
I don't usually eat fast food anymore. But I'm like, it's late.
Gotta
Whataburger.
get something. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to Whataburger. Went there and sat there for 20 minutes and didn't even move. I'm like, no, we're out of here. These guys need to go down and go to Chick-fil-A school.
I've still never been to a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, they're not bad. If I was going to open a fast food restaurant, it would be a Chick-fil-A. Have a blessed day.
Is that what they say?
Yes, they do. Have a blessed day. Righto. So that wraps it up here with Weird Wednesday.
Started out a little bit cray, but we'll get that figured out this week.
Yeah. Were you in long enough to be able to know if you could like post the comments and do that stuff?
Yeah, I was. I started to do that, and it does the same thing with like the names showing up as like your name or whatever. But I was able to see all the comments down the line like that.
Yeah.
And I could see at the bottom, like if guests pop in the lobby and such.
Cool. Yeah, Azariana, I have been to Chick-fil-A several times, and I have never gotten a wrong order from Chick-fil-A. I don't know how they must have some kind of crazy Chick-fil-A boot camp thing, but they got it going on. I'll say that.
Wow, maybe their workers actually care.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe they torture them if they screw up or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Could be one of those crazy religious cults, You're in there handling rattlesnakes while they're making the burgers.
Like wiener snitchels.
You said wiener. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for Weird Wednesday. And y'all have a blessed day. We'll talk to you next time. See you Sunday for Paranormal Soup. And I forget what the guest's name is because I suck. It's a dude.
I've never looked.
Yep. All right. See y'all then. Bye-bye.